things get even worse. The air becomes dense, and you'd be pelted by ice pellets. Eventually, you'd reach something truly spectacular, a rain of diamonds, driven by winds of up to 900 kilometers per hour.
Imagine that just raining down on you, bro. Have you ever hold up. Have you ever wondered how would Freak, I messed up. Have you ever wondered what would happen if you died on Have you ever wondered what death will feel like on other planets?
No!
No?
No!
Well, for now, just say yes. Hi, I'm Dr. Edward, and today we're Freak, I messed up. Hi, I'm Dr. Edward, and today we're going over how death will feel like in other planets. Alright, shout out to Paint Explainer, he was I made this video, and we got what dying on every planet would be like. Let's get into it. I'm really interested into this.
Mercury. Mercury is the closest planet to the sun, but if you think that means it's hot all the time, you're wrong. At night, temperatures can plummet to an icy minus 180 degrees Celsius. During the day, however, they can skyrocket to 430 degrees Celsius. This extreme imbalance happens because Mercury doesn't have a proper atmosphere to regulate temperature. Instead, it has a very thin exosphere, which doesn't maintain heat. While apart from temperature, you wouldn't have to worry about weather on Mercury, the real dangers come from solar radiation and the lack of breathable air. In fact, Mercury gets almost 7 times the solar irradiance that Earth receives. As the smallest planet in the solar system, Mercury is full of craters, cliffs, and bumpy terrain, making it a pretty tough place to land as well. The low air resistance doesn't help either. It would make slowing down a spaceship much harder, increasing the chances of a high-speed crash. Landing during the daytime is out of the question because of the extreme heat. The latest NASA spacesuits can only handle up to 121 degrees Celsius.
So do you know what's crazy, bro? If they're saying that, you know, today's NASA suits is like, it still can't handle Mercury's conditions, then what makes you think that 1960s Neil Armstrong landed on the moon, alright? Hey, I'm not a Neil Armstrong hater. I'm not a hater of Neil. Because there's been a lot of recent allegations that Neil Armstrong did not actually land on the moon. Hey, I'm not the one that's saying it. I'm just the one that's hearing it and delivering it to you guys, alright?
Nowhere near Mercury's daytime temperatures of 430 degrees Celsius. Plus, keep in mind that Mercury's day lasts about half a year due to its slow rotation. Nighttime isn't much better. Temperatures of minus 180 degrees Celsius far exceed NASA suit's lower limit of minus 157 degrees Celsius, so you'd still freeze. Your best...
So literally, it's like a lose-lose. If you come at daytime, you're gonna freaking torch to death. And if you come at nighttime, you're gonna freeze to death. So like, there's no in-between? Like, bro.
Bet would be to try landing in the Terminator Zone, the area between day and night where temperatures are...
I just said that. Come on, like, am I not a legend, guys? Come on.
More moderate. Even there, however, it can be risky, as temperatures can change relatively quickly. Venus. Venus is the closest planet to Earth, sitting just 40 million kilometers away. This means the journey there would be relatively short, about 4 months. Its size and gravity wouldn't pose much of a problem, as they're pretty similar to Earth's. The first real issue you'd face, though, would be those beautiful yellow clouds you'd see as you approached the surface. Unfortunately, they're made of sulfuric acid, a highly corrosive substance that would destroy your lungs in seconds.
No, sir.
But let's assume you've got a spacesuit advanced enough to filter it out. As you descend to the surface, you'd notice visibility dropping drastically. The atmosphere becomes incredibly thick, made mostly of carbon dioxide, so you wouldn't be able to see much. Then there's the heat, an unbearable 450 degrees Celsius. If that wasn't enough, only about 10% of the sunlight reaches the surface, as it's blocked by the thick atmosphere, so it'd be pretty dark. On the surface, moving your arms and legs would be a serious struggle. Even though gravity is nearly the same as on Earth, the air is so dense you'd feel like you're wading through a heavy liquid. With a good pressurized suit, you might last a few seconds down there, but before long, the pressure, about 92 bars compared to Earth's 1 bar at sea level, would crush your suit. And if that didn't kill you, the sulfuric acid you'd start breathing once your suit broke definitely would. Mars. Mars is the second closest planet to Earth and the most habitable of all 8 planets. Daytime temperatures are much less extreme compared to Mercury and Venus, reaching up to a relatively comfortable 20 degrees Celsius. However, the real challenge comes at night, or in certain parts of the planet, where temperatures can drop as low as minus 153 degrees Celsius. Another big issue, similar to Mercury, is Mars's incredibly thin atmosphere. It's mostly made up of carbon dioxide, with only trace amounts of oxygen, meaning there's not that much breathable air. This thin atmosphere also results in low pressure and high levels of radiation exposure, both of which are incredibly dangerous. The average natural radiation level on Mars is 24 to 30 rads. which is about 40 to 50 times the average on Earth. On top of that, Mars experiences frequent and extremely violent dust storms, with wind speeds reaching up to 100 kilometers per hour.
Oh, 62 miles. That's not no joke, bro. That's serious. 62 miles per hour wind? Ain't that like tornado stuff? Like, bro.
These storms could pose serious challenges, so any attempt at habitation would require a sustainable, airtight, and well-insulated life support
Ain't no
system.
way, bro.
Jupiter.
We don't got that.
Jupiter is the biggest planet out of the 8, and it's one of the hardest planets to land on, primarily because of
Really?
its extreme radiation levels.
Oh.
Even 300,000 kilometers away, the radiation would start penetrating your suit and you'd be done for. But since that's a boring
that
outcome,
far?
let's assume you have a hypothetical suit that can block the radiation. Jupiter's gravity is 2.4 times stronger than Earth's, meaning you'd be falling incredibly fast. As you
Oh.
enter the first layers of the atmosphere, you'd
So basically on Jupiter, you'll just get sucked in, pretty much, bro.
encounter white clouds made of frozen ammonia crystals with
Oh, heck
temperatures
no.
around minus 150 degrees Celsius. The
Oh,
winds
man.
here are no joke, reaching insane speeds of up to 480
300 freaking miles per hour? You're doomed at that point. Don't go to Jupiter, bro.
kilometers per hour. If you manage to descend about 150 kilometers through these top layers, you'd reach the deepest point ever explored.
Oh,
this is how
man.
far NASA's Galileo probe got back in 1995. Beyond this point,
Wait, NASA actually made it that close to Jupiter?
start getting darker, and both temperature and pressure increase rapidly. Just as a fun fact, the pressure near Jupiter's center is estimated to be about 100 million times Earth's atmospheric pressure. After hours of falling, you might reach Jupiter's inner layers, where you'd encounter a supercritical fluid, a state that's not quite liquid but not gas either.
You're done.
Here, you'd
You're
kind of
done.
be swimming in this bizarre substance.
You're
If you
done.
continued further toward the center, you'd encounter metallic hydrogen, an extremely dense liquid that would trap you. But if you somehow managed to get through that, you'd reach Jupiter's core, though we're not entirely sure if it's solid or not. The temperatures here would be about 24,000 degrees Celsius,
Bro.
roughly 4.5 times hotter than the sun's surface. Saturn.
What?
Saturn is the second largest planet in the solar system, with an atmosphere
Saturn?
primarily made of hydrogen
I ain't gonna lie, Saturn is actually like my favorite planet, you know? Like, just look at it. How could he not like Saturn? Maybe it's the rings. That's probably like why I like the planet a lot, Saturn.
and helium. The first challenge would be avoiding a crash with one of its 146 orbiting moons. Once you manage that, you'd encounter its iconic rings, which are made of debris from old moons, ice pellets, comets, and asteroids. Let's assume you're either an incredibly skilled pilot or your spaceship is indestructible, so you don't meet your end by smashing into space junk. As you
Oh.
approach Saturn's equator, you'd witness an incredible spectacle of red and purple auras caused by highly energetic hydrogen in the atmosphere. However, this beauty comes with a catch. Hurricane-force winds blasting at speeds of around
What?
1,800 kilometers per hour.
All right, 1,000 miles. Like, that's beyond humanity. Like, bro, what the freak, bro? Oh my goodness.
Would make it nearly impossible to stay steady. Trying to
Impossible.
enter from the North Pole wouldn't be any better. Up there, you'd face a massive storm so large you could fit 2 Earths inside it. This region
What?
also has ammonia clouds, similar to Jupiter's, and temperatures that can plummet to a bone-chilling minus 250 degrees Celsius. As you fall deeper through the layers of
Man.
clouds, the temperatures would start to rise again, eventually reaching 0 degrees Celsius. At this point, while the cold becomes less of an issue, pressure becomes your biggest enemy. It increases to levels comparable to
Oh.
the deepest parts of Earth's oceans. Continuing further, the gases around you would transition into a liquid state. If you somehow survived long enough to reach the center of Saturn, you'd encounter its molten rocky core, which is about 10 times the size of Earth. Temperatures here
Bro.
reach a scorching 11,700 degrees Celsius, more than twice as hot as the sun's surface, with pressure roughly 1,000 times greater than Earth's. Uranus.
Saturn, I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna think differently about Saturn now. I mean, you're still my favorite planet and all, but you're not friendly. You know, I really wanted to visit Saturn one day, guys. I'm sorry.
This is where planets start getting really far from Earth, making
Uranus.
the journey incredibly long. Uranus is one of the 2 ice giants and the only planet in the solar system that spins on its side. It also rotates faster than Earth, with a day lasting just 17 Earth hours. By the way, being an ice giant doesn't mean the planet is a solid ball of ice. Instead, it means it's primarily composed of elements heavier than hydrogen and helium. Like Saturn, you'd need to avoid crashing into its rings. Once you pass them, you'd
Dang.
find yourself surrounded by toxic gas, and the temperature would drop rapidly to below minus 200 degrees
it is
Celsius.
cold down
This
there.
makes
It
it
is
the
cold.
coldest planet in the solar system. If the freezing cold and poisonous atmosphere didn't get you, you'd descend through the first layer of the atmosphere. Here, things get even worse. The air becomes dense, and you'd be pelted by ice pellets. Eventually, you'd reach something truly spectacular, a
You're
rain
done.
of diamonds, driven by winds of up
you're
to
done.
900 kilometers per hour.
Imagine that just raining down on you, bro. Ooh. Okay, the only thing that's close to that on Earth is like hail. You don't know like that ice stuff that be falling down from the sky, you know what I'm saying? We actually got hail once in Florida. It was crazy.
Once again, there's a catch. The pressure here is about 100 times greater than Earth's, which would ultimately crush you.
Yeah, Neptune. You're done. Goodness.
Neptune is the second ice giant after Uranus, and its
Neptune.
composition is very similar. Being the farthest planet from the sun, 30 times farther than Earth, it's incredibly dark. Like Uranus, Neptune is extremely cold in its outer layers, but the inner layers are intensely hot due to immense pressure and heat from its core. Matter of fact, its core is about 7,000 degrees Celsius, which is hotter than the sun's surface. It also experiences the famous diamond rain, caused by high pressure breaking down methane and forming solid diamonds. Neptune's winds are among the strongest in the solar system, reaching supersonic speeds. In many ways, it's basically a twin of Uranus, so there isn't much to add. If you liked this video, subscribe for similar
Ooh-wee.
ones.
And we got the most weirdest court cases in history. Hey, we gotta do that one next for sure. All right, you guys, that was, what dying on each planet would look like. Comment down below if you have to, if you have to die, unfortunately, which planet would you it just sounds so weird even saying this. Which planet would you pick to die on? Alright, for me, I don't even know, bro. They all sound so horrible, bro. Realize how he skipped Earth. He literally skipped Earth. Hey, for me, I'm gonna just pick the quickest death. Which one? The one that kills me the fastest, I'm gonna pick that one, bro. I don't want to go to no painful death, bro. Just kill me instantly, please. So if you guys enjoyed the video, please make sure to terminate that like button, subscribe to join the EJ Nation. We're trying to get 1,000 subscribers as fast as possible. And I'll see you guys in the next video.